Study about fuels today. So the first question is how we can define fuel. So the answer is these are the substance which on combustion produces energy in the form of heat. Moving to the next one, on the basis of their states they are further classified into solid, liquid and gaseous. So this is the first example of solid fuel, that is wood, and it is a chief energy source both for industrial and domestic applications. Now the thing is, the chief constituent is cellulose, having molecular formula C6H10O5 and would undergo combustion to form carbon dioxide, water and energy in the form of heat and light. Moving further, the another example of solid fuel is coal. So it's been extracted from different mines. What we see right now on screen is open pit mines. Once it is extracted, it's been further transported for the industrial and domestic applications or use. Moving further, what are the types of coal do we know? And they are peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite. Now there is another solid fuel that what we call is coke. It is basically a secondary fuel which looks like this. We call it secondary fuel. The reason is we get it from coal. Coal actually undergoes combustion in absence of air, and what we finally get is coke. Now let me ask you a simple question. Which among coal and coke is a better fuel or the superior fuel? The answer is coke. Reason? Let's see it. It contains 90 to 95% of carbon. Moving to the next one, it burns without smoke. And moving further, of course, it produces more heat energy than coal, and that is why it is superior fuel than coal. Moving to the next state of fuel, that is liquid and none other than petroleum. So it is basically a complex mixture of hydrocarbon compounds and extracted from earth crust and ocean bed. This is how it looks like. Moving further, it's a thick black liquid, and what we call it? We call it crude oil. So students, there is a question for you. Name the process to obtain petroleum products, and the answer is it's fractional distillation. Let me give you an image of fractional distillation tower, and this is how it exactly looks like. Now technically what happens, crude oil is being sent into a chamber, what we call it is a heat exchanger, where the liquid form of crude oil changes to vapor form. It rises up. Further, depending upon its boiling point, it condenses, and the first product that we get is bitumen at 340 degrees Celsius, and it's been used for making road and roof. Moving to the next product, what we get is fuel oil, and it's been used as fuel for ships and power stations. Moving further, what we have is the lubricating oil, and it's been used as a lubricating agents in machines. Moving to the further product is what we have is diesel. We get it at 270 degrees Celsius, and it's been used as fuel for cars, lorries and buses. Moving to the next product, what we get is kerosene. We get it at 170 degrees Celsius, and its refined form is being used as an aircraft fuel. Moving to the next one is naphtha. We get it at 120 degrees Celsius, and it's been used to make chemicals, as we can see. Moving further, what we get is petrol, and we get it at 70 degrees Celsius, and we all know it's been used as fuel in cars and other vehicles. The topmost what we get is refinery gases, and we get it at 20 degrees Celsius, and it's none other than the bottled gas. Let's move on to the next fuel, that is the gaseous fuel. So here we go. The first column what we get is fuel. The second column is for method to form. The first one is coal gas, and we get it by the fractional distillation of coke. Moving to the next one is oil gas, and we get it by cracking of kerosene, and here cracking stands for a process to convert the complex substance into the simpler one. Moving to the next one is petrol gas, and we get it by cracking of petrol, and the meaning of cracking we have already done it earlier. Moving to the next one is water gas. So what we have is white hot coal. We allow steam to pass through it, and what we get at its end is water gas. Moving to the next one is producer gas. Basically what happens, we allow air to move through hot charcoal, and as a result what we get is a combustible mixture of carbon monoxide, nitrogen and other gases. Let's look at its composition one by one. The first is 30% of it is consist of carbon monoxide. Next is the 60% of it is consist of nitrogen, and remaining 10% is of other gases. Moving to the next gas is CNG, that stands for compressed natural gas. So moving to the exam expert corner, for this module the important question that is coming right now on screen is how petroleum products are obtained from crude oil, and the next question is state the benefit of using CNG over coal as a fuel. Thank you students.